This is Gengar X, and this is what if Deku had the quirk, the Infinity Copy. Okay, and before we get started, make sure you kind of see Anime Junkie's videos first. So that way you kind of know what I'm gonna do. Well, even though I technically can explain it right away. Well, either way, shout out to Anime Junkie to his amazing videos and all of his things. Even though it's like, I'm just a fan of his. I just really like him. He's really awesome. You should go see him. Subscribe to him. And subscribe to me too, please. Even though I don't really care about how many subscribers I get, I just kind of want at least a few. Alright, now on with the video. Back inside their toddler age, around when they get their quirks. Bakugo, as usual, gets his quirk first in the class. Midoriya gets his quirk last, and was almost assumed to be quirkless. Just when Bakugo was about to knock him to the ground, at that point of where Deku was standing up to Kachan, Deku copied his quirk without realizing it. And just like that, he has explosions. So he fights back against Bakugo. Bakugo can't withstand this. He knocks Bakugo down and he says, looks like you got a quirk after all. And too bad yours isn't as strong as mine. Bakugo leaves along with his friends. Deku is still kind of down, at least a little bit happy that he finally got a quirk. But a little bit inside his mind, like, mine is just like Kachan's. He also kind of thinks for himself, am I gonna end up like Kachan? Or no, I'll defend people with this quirk. He's still cool. I know he's good. After that, he goes home. In the following time when he gets back home, he tells his mom he finally got a quirk. His mom is so happy for him, and he kind of shows his mom that his quirk is explosions. But before that, he accidentally copies his mom's quirk and floated some keys that were in the distance to the house. So at that time, Inko was kind of surprised and was saying, your quirk is just like mine. That's so awesome. What? Is what Izuku says. But my quirk is explosions. But then Inko thought, wait, you got explosions? Are you sure? Wait, or maybe do you have a copy quirk? And Midoriya gets really excited about this, and then is like, maybe I do. After all, I did get this from fighting Kachan, from defending another kid from Kachan. Is what he was thinking inside his mind. And so they go to the doctors. The doctors kind of experiment with him and think, hey, this kid's got a really nice quirk. He can copy. That's so cool. And hey, you're kind of pretty unique, kid. There's only a handful of kids out there who kind of has a few copy quirks. Some of them are limited to a certain amount of time, while some of them are limited to how much they can hold. So they kind of take some tests on him. So a few doctors come in with their own quirks. One has a water quirk, another one kind of has some kind of psychic quirk. of hypnosis. So at that time, he kind of takes their quirks. Another doctor comes in with a fire quirk, who kind of just lights the room just in case there's a blackout or anything. So that's the kind of doctor he is, just in case. Whatever. Those doctors out there, they all have their own stories. I'm not gonna make up any kinds anymore. Midoriya now has about 5 quirks within him. The doctors assume like that's maybe about how much he can hold, and so they kind of think like that's the limit he can hold when like going through some more procedures. He's able to handle the quirks to the same amount of strength that the previous users can. So they kind of end their studies with Izuku right there, and then just head on home. And knowing that Midoriya has a perfect copy quirk, even though they don't know it's infinity. Midoriya the next day goes to school. He tells everyone, "Hey guys, I got a copy quirk." Bakugo, hearing this, was like, "What? You got a copy quirk?" And it was like starts to lose his mind a little bit. Starts to feeling a little mad. Everybody kind of goes near him and is like, "Wow, what kind of quirks can you copy?" Midoriya says that he can copy quirks that aren't mutational quirks. So you can copy just about almost any. And that he doesn't even know what kind of limits he has for his copy quirks. And that the quirks that he can copy kind of have the same exact strength as their users. Bakugo, hearing this, says, "Ha! It has the same strength that the users? When you copied my quirk, you couldn't even do anything to me. That must be a lie. Because there's no way your explosions are stronger than mine." Everybody kind of hearing this kind of accepts this. It's like, and also kind of doubts the exact strength thing. And says, "Are you sure? Sure? Or that's what the doctor said? Hey, are you really certain for that?" Like, and then there's another kid who comes up who says, "Are you copying everyone's quirks right now?" And then everybody inside the class kind of freezes, and then like, "Huh?" And then Izuku's like, "Oh, I didn't even think of that." So he kind of just copies it without will, and says, "Maybe I can copy it just by touching someone, I guess. Because I guess that's what I have done so far." And so he kind of tests the quirk of each kid inside class. Some of them have some few physical enhancers. Another has like levitational quirk, and another kind of has an electric quirk. We're gonna go with that. So Izuku kind of has a few quirks now with a lot of power, but of course, since Bakugo is the strongest in the class, the strengths of those quirks aren't as strong because Bakugo is the most popular. He is the strongest, and he was the first one to get his quirk. And so, just from there, we move on. Midoriya kind of copies a few more elemental quirks throughout middle school, because there are some kids that he'll just encounter. He'll get quirks like the wind quirk, and ice quirk, and earth quirk, controlling the ground, controlling the water, controlling fire and ice. And maybe also having I actually can't think of anything at that moment. So those are all the examples I'm going to give out right now. and now it's around the beginning of the anime. So, at this point, I think this is where I'm gonna stop off at, because at the beginning of the anime, this will become the part 2. And now this is the end of part 1 of what if Deku had the infinity copy quirk. And please try to at least watch the videos of what if Deku had a sludge form quirk. I would appreciate if you at least try to go through it once. I know it may seem short, for about a minute or two, but hey, it was kind of the only thing that was actually scripted, like written down on a piece of paper, that I planned before this YouTube channel. So go ahead and don't forget to subscribe and maybe like if you want to. You don't have to, really. But I would like to know, like, for my videos to get a few views. So thank you, and later.